Hello. Today I am doing a question. I am doing Kamala Harris. Um, she is our first female uh, person in office of the United States President and as Vice President. She was previously the senator for California as a Democrat and also was previously an Attorney General in the state of California. Now, I live in California, although I have not lived here as a resident. So, I understand people in California have an opinion, and that in some regards, they're a little nervous about Kamala Harris. And quite frankly, what I'm getting intuitively is I'm very excited about this. I think that this is a delightful change in all sorts of good ways. So, um, uh, I shall continue. Yesterday, uh, we obviously had just a horrible experience. I woke up at about 4 a.m. on the 6th, and I'm having a little maybe dispute with a neighbor, and he did something that I found really offensive. And so, and I live in an RV park, and so when someone does something to you that lives within a few feet of you, it is notable. But anyway, I recognize that life is reflective, and I need to ask myself, why did he make that move? And what was my part in it? And what can I do to rise up and not take this personally, not go into ego, and do something about it? Well, what I woke up with, which was interesting because it really isn't reflective of my personality, I woke up feeling like I needed to take a razor blade to his newfound passion because I found it so offensive. And obviously, that is not something I'm going to go do. I have a particular aspect in my natal chart that says I don't necessarily know my personal sensitive stuff from the collective stuff. So that is kind of a marker of an empath, and so I have to be very careful to check myself at the door. What's mine and what's real and what's not. So, being an empath has its gifts and it has its not so good things. So, I mean, I'm grateful to spirit for the gifts I have, but I can tell you it has some trouble to go with it as well. But yesterday, we had the big break-in of the Capitol, and of course we had Vice President Mike Pence, I think for the most part, hiding under a desk somewhere, which is like, it's kind of unfathomable that this would even take place. Today, news outlets, I'm not going to, I'm just going to say that I've read some news outlets are stating that the police stood down as the Trump mob stormed the Capitol to disrupt the reading of the certified as of December 14th, 2020, Safe Harbor Day, results. Um, and I'm curious of Kamala Harris and and her natal chart and the patterning in it. How is she going to respond to this? Because really, quite frankly, we all have our patterns, do we not? And basically, 1 month ago, Kamala Harris said, after being elected vice president of the United States, "You chose truth." Now, that was quote unquote. You chose truth. With Kamala Harris's chart, I can tell you that that is so part of who she is. She is the house of communications. She's a powerhouse. Okay. And we did choose truth. We chose people. We chose the truth. And for all of us who voted and did what we needed to do to come bring the light to this dark, dark Plutonian moment, thank you. And quite frankly, we had Pluto direct in the USA chart on the 1st of January, so this was to be expected, okay? Um, uh, so now, as the head of the VP, we've also had a development that the Senate in Georgia, both races were won by the Democratic Party. And so that gives us in the Senate a 50-50 scenario, with Kamala Harris being the tiebreaker. So what we have so far is she's a woman in the house of the highest position in our government. She's educated. She is the first woman of office, period, and she is the first woman of office of minority status. And I'm wondering, should the GOP be shaking in their boots? They've got a tiger by the tail, and they are going to find out collectively what that means. Kamala Harris is fire dominant, as am I. And a fire dominant person is going to do what they need to do when they need to do it with a certain amount of authority without any hesitation. That's who we've got. And quite frankly, I'm grateful because for whatever reasons, we've gotten into this situation and we need a powerhouse to get out of it. And with that, I am going to do the Terrascope of Kamala Harris. Hello. Okay, here we go. I've got the laptop down, and here is the natal chart for Kamala Harris. And she was born October 20th, 1964, and with a birth time of 9:28 p.m. Born in Oakland, California, and I am using sidereal, Vedic, equal, and a bit of a hybrid. As I said before, she is fire dominant. She gets 6 points in fire, which makes her dominant, and she gets 6 points in air. That woman is going to have a sharp, she has a sharp mind and a sharp tongue, and she is going to hold nothing back when it comes to dealing with things. So, with that, as I said, we're kind of looking to see just what might be the response of this new administration. I mean, I think that when you have somebody that really turned on his own person, which would be Mike Pence, which not terribly surprising to me, but in a way it's deeply troubling to the whole situation. And I don't think that no matter what we do, we can trust him to behave himself anymore. I think we've found that he's not trustworthy. 45 won't behave. So we're going to choose 12 cards for the Terrascope. And we're simply just asking about this energy. Kamala, how is she going to come out swinging? She's got a pattern that is hers, and I am going to ask the cards to explain to me what this might look like at the end of the day. So um, I'm gobsmacked, honestly, that yesterday happened the way it did. So, okay, I'm going to collect these back up. Okay, and I did Biden the other day, and of course that was a noisy, and I apologize, my sound wasn't great. So there's 1, 2, and 3, and now I have my new microphone, so, and I've tested it out, and hopefully I might be, there might be a learning curve for me, I must admit, but I'm getting it. Okay, so this is about the structure of things, okay? This is an earth-based, and a 4 is going to be about the cornerstone of things, the 4 corners of the 4 pillars of life, okay? That for her, and this starting off this way is rather interesting. She is going to start off with the foundation is saying that this is going to be about the structure of things. And I'm going to put this on a brief pause because my dog needs to go out, and she's pretty insistent. Okay, sorry about that. So the first card, like I said, the foundation. And notice above, as I walked away, I'm actually kind of glad I walked away because it brought something to my mind. Pluto, what is Pluto? Well, Pluto is transformation. And here we have, in this time of great transformation, we have Kamala Harris moving forward. Notice that butterfly in the background getting ready to emerge from the horizon. Just let that sink in. That is kind of an awesome, that is an awesome picture in my mind of what's coming, okay? And so as we start out in the first house of communication, it is in Cancer. Um, Actually, yeah, she is a communicator. That is her soul. I'm sorry. I'm kind of looking at notes. So she is a communicator. That is just, in essence, part of her soul. And what she gets is the Prince of Cups. She's coming in to say to us that, yes, I know these relationships have been damaged. I understand that. And right off the bat, she's coming in with some ideas about that. So, um, uh, she has she has nothing in that house, so we're just going to continue on. And then she gets into the second house of I am, okay? She is in the house of income or objects, okay? She is saying, I am aggressively providing. She has Mars in Leo in the house of objects or financial. She is going to be somebody that is a bit of an unexpected, a dark horse, okay, in a way. That is Uranus in Leo, conjunct Pluto in Leo, Venus in Leo. She's saying, expect me to do things in the dark side that are unexpected, that I do intend to bring this back to a state of balance. Okay? And like I said, our natal chart, it's a pattern we learn very early in our lives. So this is a pattern we have no hope but to see anything but what she's going to do. That is just the way it is. And what does she get? She gets the Six of Cups. She is all about the family and the relationships to the family. And, like I said, I have heard a couple of different sentiments here in California that there are people that are just so excited, as am I, and really thinking that this is some hot stuff that's taken place. And I kind of half think it is. I think it's a very exciting development. And then there are people that are here in California that are utterly shaking in their boots. And so, the question is why? And so, as you see here in her, where we do need for someone to be about the family in the house of financial, in our second house. And we get Kamala Harris. So she is going to, thus I had the word providing. She is going to be looking at things, ways to provide us a way forward. And that I'm very excited about because I do think that there is no more downside for us. I think we've gone as low as we can go. We're in our dark night of the soul, okay? And in her third house of communication, her Venus in Leo, again, that was conjunct. That is in Virgo, okay? She is going to be going over the details. This is not good news for the GOP. She values things. She is going to, and that's in the house, that is also going to be something that's going to connect to her house of career, which she is now vice president. She is going to want things to be taken care of. So she is going to take this detail, this theatrical sabotage that went on, and you can bet she's going to come out with some values and some and and probably some limitations to the collective because we just can't be acting this way. And what do we get? In the house of information we get the Seven of Swords. Yes, it we are deeply embattled. I mean, you cannot have essentially law enforcement turning their back on reality to allow for a coup to take place. That to me is, and the seven, the number seven, I find it to be one of those numbers that I find it interesting that they use it in casinos, lucky sevens, but it's like it's almost got this spot up at the top where you drop your coin in and it slides down to the bottom and you never see it again. So I'm not sure how lucky sevens are, but I think that's a story we've been told that maybe I don't totally buy. So that would be my own thing. Okay, in the fourth house of mother, okay, roots, she's got Sun in Capricorn. How she sees herself is highly fair. She's deeply connected. She has Mercury in not Capricorn, Libra. She's basically balanced and fair. So her Sun, she is I am balanced and fair and connected. Your roots would be like tree roots. They go down deep. That's in a sense how we develop into who we are. It is due to our roots. And in her case, she's highly sensitive, but she's balanced and fair. So, again, I'm thinking that for the GOP, this means trouble. And what do we get? Oh my goodness, rapid transformation. I would say that yes, this is going to be something to be witnessed. I think Kamala Harris is going to come out of this situation swinging the bat and knocking the ball out of the park. Okay, and that's in the fourth house. In the fifth house, it is going to be in Scorpio. That's going to be your dramatic, your dramas, your children, not your children, but children in general, pets, kind of how you relate. You come into life and you are starting to gather your momentum, and you're making friends and you have skills, and you're educated to some. So it's basically about life's drama. She gets the Prince of Wands. She is all about action. She is going to come in there. Everything about this and everything I'm feeling, in my intuitive sense is that this woman's ready. And if you go back to this death card, she's going to open up the guts of this country and she is going to expose what has been happening. And she's ready. She's a phoenix, and she's ready to rise. Okay, in our sixth house of career, to expand. Okay, she gets the Prince of Swords. She's already got plenty of ideas intellectually what she's going to do and why she's going to do it. They've been sitting back quietly while all of this chaos has been unfolding, and essentially, for no lack of better ways to say it, a coup attempt was underway. And I personally, I know that the day later that we've now got Biden named as president, but do I think that Trump's shenanigans are over? Oh, heck no. No, I don't. So, in the House of Career, she's already got some ideas of some things, which thank goodness, because, I'm almost wondering, are they going to begin a second impeachment? Now, I will say that plenty of readers, tarot card readers now, I'm going to say, have said this. I have been following tarot card readers for 4 years now due to this crisis that we've been in. I have not been on podcasting in tarot because my husband is somebody who works in federal government, and I felt a certain amount of personal jeopardy to us. So I was very careful to not come out too soon in podcasting because of the dangers to myself. And also I'm doing the astrology program, and it's a 2 year program. It was an adjunct master's program, and now it's being offered as a regular program, which I took it up. Okay, in the House of Partnerships, Kamala Harris is going to be extremely candid. Again, that fire dominant. She's going to be what she needs to be when she needs to be it. Okay? And she gets judgment. In the House of Partnership, she's going to come in and, yeah, she's going to provide some judgment. She has got some ideas, and she has had all she can stand, as we all have. I mean, as she's been sitting on the sidelines and essentially being, not really treated very well by people that you would expect not to behave the way they did. So, yes, there is some judgment. It is coming, and so there's that. Okay, and then in the eighth house of unconscious, that's where her limits are. In that, she's got Saturn in Aquarius, so she's going to be seeing that there needs to be some limits on this Plutonian crazy that we're seeing in our house of finance, and that has been committed upon us. Okay, so she has Saturn in uh, Aquarius. She's going to be impartial, and she's going to be looking to be, that is why I have that word providing. She's going to be looking to providing a way forward, because when you have a limitation, you fight your way through the limitation. She's had limitations in the house of Pluto, and what does she get? She gets the moon. She's listening. She's highly sensitive. I think she's got a fairly well developed sense of things. She's educated. I think she might be intuitive and sensitive to the point that in this sense, this Pluto return, that she is really quite capable of coming out and being a powerhouse, because really that's the one area she's had to fight through in her natal chart, is things that go bump in the night were hard for her, and so she is somebody who's going to come out and say, I'm not putting up with that, and that's actually a very good development for us. In the ninth house of higher learning, that is in Pisces, she's going to be impartial. She's going to be independent. She is going to operate in her higher philosophies. Okay? She gets the Six of Swords. That again, that six comes up, that well-being for the family and the intellectual well-being as a global sense. She's going to be looking out for that. And I think for somebody who's in the highest office in the United States as a vice president, that the very least we want someone who intellectually, in a higher educational sense, thinks of the family, okay? In the House of Government, she gets Moon in Aries, okay? An Aries moon, which I also have, we are not going to suffer the ridiculous lightly, okay? And I do think we're talking the ridiculous now. We have kind of gone into the ridiculous, and I was one card short, so I just grabbed another one. So I'm actually right where, oh, actually, yeah, I am one card short. Okay, so what we get is an Ace of Discs, okay? Something new is coming. How she listens is Moon and Aries. She isn't going to suffer the garbage. She just isn't. She's in the highest office now. She's now saying, I'm going to offer up some new line items that are going to have an effect on you, the people. And I think we need that, because I think we were told by the previous administration that I'm going to give you some new line items. It involves you giving us all your money and you saying yes, sir. So, and kissing the ring. And of course, I don't think that that is what we have here. If with Kamala Harris, we have someone that's saying, yes, I am going to be looking carefully at the physical aspects of living on Earth and being a family member, because Moon in Aries, that's how that's going to be how she listens, how she mothers, how she provides a more sensitive way forward. Okay, in the 11th house of others, secrets, groups, it's in Taurus. Okay, and she gets the Three of Swords. Yeah, there is going to be a good deal of heartbreak, because she has to stand up to, if in fact this report about law enforcement is true, and I would like to think it's not true, but my spidey sense says that in fact it is true. And she has Jupiter to expand in Taurus into that object base, or what happened there. She is going to want to expand that. There's going to be heartbreak. And well, I think that I need not say that there is heartbreak already. This has just been, yesterday, when I went to work, I probably should have taken a Valium. That is not an effective way to live your life. And when you feel so stressed that you have to mask your stress, that's pretty difficult. But I did not take Valium for it. I felt like it. It was a very difficult day. Okay. And in the 12th house, she has her North Node. What she came into life to do? Well, as I've said before, she came into life to be about powerhouse information. Okay, she's a seed of growth, and on the unseen level, she is gonna knock it out of the park. I mean, I don't know that we could have done better under the circumstances. I was a bit hesitant when she was first announced by Biden, and I don't know why. I think I wanted Stacey Abrams, is maybe what it really was. I had a personal preference for Stacey Abrams, but we got Kamala Harris. And now we have Kamala Harris, and I can see by the divine order of her chart that Spirit had its hand in this process. Her North Node in Gemini, she gets the sun. She is going to come out and she is going to expose the truth of government. And we need that. We cannot function in government, paying in and being a part of a collective system that is essentially stabbing us in the back. It's no longer a functional system. And so we now have Kamala Harris, who is now here to transform and change the structure of the physical things in government. And she's toasting, we're toasting to Kamala. Kamala is toasting us in that sense, in a relationship that is brand new. Okay. And in that sense, she's there to challenge the Emperor 45, the established, the GOP, and who has been committing sleights of hand. Okay. And this is to clean up the government. And right now, as it has been, of course, we've been hung up. And here's our action card. Here she comes, the Three of Wands. We're no longer going to be walking this tightrope. It's over. And with that, I am going to move my laptop around. And I thank you for joining me here today. Please do hit the like, share, and subscribe button and join myself and my lovely co-reader, Pearl Rowland, over on www.twiggie.com, where you'll find that I have astrology reports, I have numerology reporting, and we have tarot, numerology, and astrology readings available. So, with that, I thank you for joining me here today.